Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is D,
And this is T.
and you are listening to D&T TV. Welcome back, everybody.
Dude, you guys don't understand. This is our first time filming, for those of you who are just joining us in. And we just took about 30 tries to do like a 15-second advertisement.
Yeah, you heard that right. So this episode whatever the fuck it is,
25,
Yeah.
maybe.
is going to be the very first episode that has video recording behind it, and we are uploading this to YouTube.
Well, see, the sad part is, you know, I'm on the radio. So I'm used to, like, throwing out an ad like that. Like, I can practice it, like, 3 times in my head. And I can just shoot one out, right? I like to read off script. And what I do is I make, like, ads and write them down for the radio station.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll just leave in the blank. Like, what's up, you guys? It's this is Tony, because that's like my like DJ name or whatever. I'm like, it's blah 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 blank degrees in the beautiful Morgantown today. You know, I just have like shit like that, and I'll just plug it in.
Another thing to point out is, for those listening that don't know us on a personal level, this is the first time you are seeing our faces, and so I am D.
And this is T. For those of you who haven't seen me, I'm not fat anymore. I'm 208.
Yeah.
I was 285 at grad, so fuck all y'all.
Yeah. T over here has been on a tremendous weight loss journey.
Yeah, here March, I'm going to start promoting on my Instagram, and I'm going skydiving with my old man. So I'm going to like start hardballing Instagram, and so hopefully you guys see me more on there.
Another thing I'd like to point out is, which kind of sucks for the people who are listening to the audio only, is we're able to do stupid shit with the camera, and I can just give them weird glimpses like this. But the people listening to audio just have no clue what I just did.
So if you guys have ever seen The Office, we gave him like an office look at the camera every once in a while. But I myself, I listen to podcasts like I listened to Duncan Trussell, my favorite, and I was hiking this morning and I went like to the gym, and I love listening to that shit. Because, like, in the morning, it'll just calm you down. Just listen to someone drone on.
Dude, I'm always amazed at how disciplined you are, because this dude will get up at, like, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock
Okay. I woke
every
up
morning.
I went to sleep at, like, 9:45 yesterday. Okay, just to clarify. So, I woke up at, like, 4:45. But that's just because I went to sleep at, like, 9 o'clock, like an old-ass man, right?
Okay, but,
regularly, I'm getting up at, like, 5, 6 a.m.
Yeah, and that's still ridiculous for my standards.
Yeah, for our age, it's, like, like, pretty cool. But, when you say that, there's always going to be some guy waking up before me. He's going to be running a harder trail than me. So, like, I don't like to promote that shit because, like, I'll go to the gym and I don't feel like I've earned my spot just yet. Like, I feel like it was just like this week, right? I went, I couldn't work out early in the morning. I was just so sick, like nauseous and shit. And because, like, I wake up and I'm nauseous for, like, a bit. Unless I can, like, depending on how I eat the day before and shit like that. Like, I just couldn't fucking work out. I was sick. So I went to my classes and I had to work out at, like, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. We go to WU. There's some really good looking fucking people up here that are at the gym.
There's
at 3
a lot
o'clock.
of jacked people here.
Yeah, and it's dudes and chicks, right? So, like,
there's no other choice. But
this was my
chicks.
first time to, like, yeah, there is now.
We're not gonna get political.
Yeah. Well, see, I was at the gym. And, I'm, like, waiting on machines and shit. But this was the first time that I, like, felt comfortable. Because I'm lifting more than these fucking jacked guys. Like, these guys are yoked, right? And this guy beside me, he was fucking huge. I was doing, like 50 more pounds than him in a shoulder press. I'm like, what the fuck is this guy doing?
Yeah, you're just like, am I doing something wrong, or am I just really jacked?
See, like, when I work out, like, I take my time when I'm, like, lifting or anything, like, that's how you're supposed
You're
to.
all
Like,
about
when
form rather than reps.
Exactly. So what I do is I do 4 sets of 10, and so I curl, like, 40s, and so I'm, like, curling, and the dude beside me is just, like, curling, like 30s, and he's just going as fast as he can, right?
Yeah.
And he'd do 10 and then stop. But I'm sitting there doing 10 too, but you take your time because it fully works your whole muscles, Like, working out's a science, bro.
It really is.
But it's like you can't overwork yourself or you'll just fuck yourself. Like Wednesdays I swim now because I was running 3 days a week and it was beating my fucking feet up. But swimming's low impact and it's a full body workout. So I don't use my arms too much, but I'll like do a lot of leg work in the pool, run some laps in the pool, and then I sit in the hot tub on Wednesdays.
Dude, it's kind of ironic because given what my major is, given my major being exercise physiology, you would think that I would know like a good bit about how to exercise and what kind of exercises to do. But where you've lost like what 70 pounds?
I'm 208, and if I lose 3 more pounds, I've lost 80.
That's dude, like you've lost 80 pounds, so you know what you're doing.
Yeah, but
no,
dude, that's the thing. I'm like a fucking monkey, right? And I'm like sitting in front of a locked ass door, right? And I'm just typing in random shit on a notepad, and sometimes the door opens, right? And it opens like an inch or two every time I type like banana twice, right, in this keypad.
Yeah.
Right. So I just keep typing banana, like like I don't know if that makes any kind of fucking sense.
So it's like you found one thing that works, and so you just keep doing it over and over again.
Yeah, and so I have a shit ton of gym heroes, bro. Like my dad was did mountain biking when he was my age, and he was like an outdoors guy. My dad's 43. He just ran the Spartan race last year. Right?
That's a tough race.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. He ran like the 5K and did like the 20 obstacles and shit like that. My dad's a beast, And, looking at myself, 285, I couldn't sit there and say I was at my best, right? Because, I'm like, I loved reading and I loved watching movies growing up. Thank you, 123 movies. I wouldn't be the me I wasn't if I didn't have illegally streamed movies. I would watch this shit and I would get so fucking hyped. But, sitting there and like lard ass me, I couldn't, do anything about it. But like now it's so like fucking cool. Like my best friend Ace, he did like the same thing I did. Lost a shit ton of weight.
He's lost a lot of weight too.
Man's fucking looks like a video game character now because he's so yoked.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, I can go to the gym and yeah, I can work my ass out. But there's just always going to be some guy that's faster and stronger.
Do you have like the successful man's mentality? Because like I've seen like videos and quotes about it. You've probably heard it before too. It kind of goes like the laziest person in the room thinks that he's doing the most, but the hardest working person in the room thinks he's doing the least.
Well, see, that's like my thing is like, dude, my dad like sleeps like 3 hours a night. Like
what
my
the
dad,
hell?
my dad works 3 jobs. My dad's like my fucking hero at the end of the day, right? Like, he's just a beast, dude. I don't know how he does that shit, but looking at my dad, I'm like, and we have so many fucking resources around us. Like I love Joe Rogan, right? The dude, like, did, like, I know everybody's like, oh, he's a fucking Joe Rogan podcaster. Fuck y'all. But,
dude, I like Joe Rogan too.
Yeah, I mean, he says some real shit. At the end of the day, like, I get, like, fucking anxiety out of the wazoo. I'm sure a lot of people do. Working out for me, meditating, and, like, I know fucking doing yoga and stretching in the morning takes my mind off shit. Especially when I'm, like, so fucking nauseous.
I'll never forget the first time I like heard of you meditating. It was when I don't know if you remember this. It was when we were here and you hadn't said anything and I was just like in here playing Xbox or something. And I walk out of my bedroom and I thought you were here, but I wasn't too sure. So I was like, well, I'll just open the door and see if he's in here.
Yeah.
I opened the door and you're sitting on your bed, like sitting up straight, legs crisscross, and you're just
well, see,
and then I bust open the door, you rip out your earpods, you go, fuck, dude, I was almost to Nirvana.
Dude, I was like, it was like the deepest, like, for me, like, I'm so, like scatterbrained a lot of times. Like, I don't have ADHD or anything, thank God. Like, because I would just be a hot mess already. But, like, for me, I'll like, just, I'll be thinking of 6 different aspects. Like, like I always have voices like weighing on me, like to motivate myself. Like I'm like, oh shit, you know, I could work out.
The little voice in your head telling you push harder.
Yeah, but it's like I can hear my dad, I can hear my like grandparents. You know, I always got like, you know, some source to draw on, because for me, like every time I go back, I've lost 15 pounds since I've been home, like back to college.
Since Christmas break.
Yeah, 3 weeks, right? Like 4 weeks. Because I weighed myself at the doctor like the 22nd. I was 225 and I'm 208. So whatever, math that
Quick
is
math.
17. There you go. From West Virginia. Looks like this. If you guys didn't know, fuck. I'm sorry. I'm looking at the video.
It's okay. West Virginia does look like this.
Yeah, and
Like this.
like we're giving you the bird for those of you listening in.
Yeah, sorry. Again, another reason you should tune into the YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Slight plug. But anyways, back to that like little voice in your head thing.
Yeah.
So I was doing my running economy study today. So for those of you who don't know what that is, I was a research subject, and
Little rat.
I was a little rat. The point of the study was to analyze the effects of the foot and the ankle on running performance. So I like went in and they measured like the arch of my foot, how long my foot was, like the structure of my
What
ankle.
size shoe you wear, kiddo?
11.
Oh.
Yeah. And so they took all those measurements, and then I got on a treadmill, and they put like this oxygen respirator that had a tube connecting to it.
Yeah.
And they used that to measure how much oxygen I took in while I was running. And so what it was is I was going to run for 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And there was 3 stages of 5 minutes. And for the first stage, I ran like 6 miles an hour, then 7 miles an hour, then like 9 miles an hour.
Yeah.
And the first stage was pretty easy. I mean, it's a light jog for me. So I just kept going. And then the second stage started getting a little harder, because it was like 7.4 miles an hour. That's probably like 65, 70.
I run at 7.2, so like, and that's fast, right?
Yeah, that's like a 60, 65% sprint speed for me.
Yeah, I can only keep that up for like 8 minutes.
Yeah,
you know,
and so I did that for
9
5 minutes, and then it kicked up to 8.6 miles an hour, like 8.7, and I was a couple minutes into it, and it got to the point where like I started hearing my breaths in my head.
Yeah, I love doing that.
And the little voice in my head was telling me like, dude, you know you can push it further.
Oh yeah.
But my brain was like, dude, if you don't fucking quit, you're going to pass out on this treadmill. So I ended up stopping like 12 and a half minutes in. But they ended up getting all the data they needed.
What catches you first, your feet or your lungs?
It's always my lungs. It's always my breath. My legs, where I've played soccer essentially my whole life, my legs rarely get tired.
Well, see, my legs were used to carrying my fat ass around all the time, so I got like really strong legs. And you know, they just, because I run all the time now too. But like for me, you know, I'd say my lungs were my main issue, but now it's kind of like it was my feet. Swimming eliminated that, so now it's like a middle ground. But do you like, what's your breathing tempo? You know,
I
like,
usually
in through the nose, out through the mouth.
No, so like when I'm first starting, it's in through the nose, out through the mouth. But like once I start getting like heavier and like,
you forget your breath.
I don't forget it. It's in through the mouth, out through the mouth.
Yeah.
But I try to keep it like if I'm running like at a 5K pace or like jogging pretty fast.
Yeah.
I like to keep it as like a breath in 3 steps. And then a breath out 3 steps. So like I learned to do that when I ran cross country, because like pacing your breathing helps a lot. And so I like take 3 steps and breathe in, and then breathe out for another 3
For me,
steps.
I'm like a machine. Like that's like how I work it. Like, and I just put in my music, and I go, and I just keep the same breath the whole time, and I maximize lungs. Even when I'm drinking, like I can drink and like breathe at the same time and not cough now.
Yeah.
Which is like I'll like, you know, be running and shit.
And another important thing about that is making sure like you're moving your legs at the same tempo. So like if you're like stumbling and like speeding up and slowing down a lot, you're just going to get out of breath a whole lot more.
Exactly. And keeping the same form and the same stride length. That's what I go for, because, you know, when you're on a treadmill, treadmills don't account for stride length, which kind of sucks, right?
Because like another thing I had to manage while I was running on the treadmill was like making sure I wasn't like too far back or too far up on the treadmill. So
Yeah.
I'd look down and I'd see that I'm like about to step off the treadmill and I have to speed up a little bit.
See, I always run almost too close to the front, and my feet will almost go like into the plastic.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is how I'm going to fucking die.
Yeah.
You know, on a
You're
treadmill.
gonna get sucked up under the treadmill.
Well, dude, I was kind of pissed at myself this week. I wasn't getting the runs I was.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, dude, why am I feel like I'm running out of breath when I get here. Like I barely got the Army like running test down, right? Which is 17 and a half and 2 miles, right?
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I barely got that. I got that at like 17:05.
Yeah.
Which, you know, I've been getting at like 16:45. So I'm adding like another 20 seconds. And I was kind of like, you know, I had a week off, like 4 days off. I'm like, dude, what the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, it's fucking cold out. It's 5 degrees out this fucking
yeah,
week.
that pissed me off. I woke up this morning, 8 o'clock, getting ready to go to my chem lab, and I look at the weather app and it says 4.
Well, for me, I had asthma as a kid, you know, and like the cold air just fucks up my lungs, right? And I walk like a mile to, you know, work out, and I'll like walk through like a mile of 5 degrees, and I'll think of it, I'm huffing and puffing. I lose like 20% of my energy getting there.
Yeah, the cold air like really messes with like performance.
Yeah, but at the same time, like I wasn't taking in that aspect of me just simply walking there, because like throughout the day, you forget your body burns like 2,000 calories a day, right? Like on average.
Yeah.
Just doing regular day shit, right? If you work out, like a 30-minute run burns like 400 calories. That's it.
Yeah.
That's fucking it. That means you do a lot more shit just working, doing shit throughout your job. You know, if you work with a mask on, think about that. That's extra burning calories. You lose calories by breathing out carbon dioxide. When you breathe, you're just breathing out more shit. Think, like, you don't lose a lot of pounds by shitting or pissing, right? Excuse my French.
Well, sometimes you have one of those like bad shits.
Oh,
and,
you mean like you get
you drop like a 3-pound deuce sometimes.
Oh my god, dude! Like
I saw
have too much fire water.
I saw I'm stealing memes, but I saw a meme the other day. It was like, we're all humans.
Yeah.
We all shit and piss.
Yeah.
That means
Women don't shit though.
Facts.
Yeah.
That means at some point, everyone, at least once in every person's life, they've had like some like grab the seat, get completely naked, like painful shits.
Like you're going to die.
Yeah, like you're going to die. I was like, can you imagine like the fucking Queen of England, Queen Elizabeth, 92 years old, just praying to God, gripping on the toilet seat,
well,
just absolutely blowing her guts up.
I tell you what, though, they probably feed her with so many fucking like dietary plans. Like, okay, think about this. Like my wiener dog when she was 16. You know, I'm comparing the Queen of England to a wiener dog here. Motherfucker did not have teeth. God bless Dora, right? We'd smash up pumpkin, right, and green beans and wet dog food. My poor great grandmother, right, 82 years old, would smash up this shit and then feed it to the dog because she didn't have, like, just gums. And she would, you know, like, smash this shit up and feed it to my dog.
Dude.
I'm sure they're giving Queen Elizabeth that kind of concoction, like, through a straw at this point. It's like vitamins.
For the last 10 years, the Queen of England has been fed through an IV tube.
Well, you know, God knows they don't have enough sun over there. I'm sorry to my British people, but it's raining. Like, here it fucking rains like, we only get sunlight half the year, you know, 155 days in Morgantown. That's some ludicrous shit. 155 days we don't get, like it's overcast of shit.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but we're not fucking Alaska.
The more I think is like, today wasn't too bad, but like most of the time here it's like cloudy.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like from like October.
We also live in a city.
From like October to like the first week of March, it's just gray everywhere.
Yeah, my favorite time of year, especially in West Virginia, is summer to fall. And then fall to winter because the leaves changing and you know, near fall you don't have like a shit ton of insects and a shit ton of snakes by then. I fucking hate snakes.
The best weather, I don't care who you are. If you don't agree, fuck you. The best weather is sunny, partly cloudy.
Yeah.
You walk outside, don't feel a temperature change.
Oh, yeah. It's
That
like
is the best, where it's the same temperature outside
but
as
the
it is
sun
inside.
is like
But
hitting
the sun's
you.
hitting you, so you're just a little warm.
Yes.
You feel like you're getting like a nice hug from like a blanket.
Dude, that
It's
shit,
nice.
like you can like lay under a tree like you're a main character in a fucking movie.
Exactly.
I get you.
Exactly.
Dude, did you ever try to like put a piece of straw, like hay in your mouth or anything and like, you know, off like a fucking movie? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Have you ever tried that shit?
Yeah. Just pretend like you're
Yeah, you're
just
like a farmer.
you're on a
like,
ranch somewhere, just put a piece of grass or something in your mouth and just
Exactly, sit there. I do that shit and like sit under my fucking tree, and I had like the honeysuckles, and you could like suck on them. They would taste
I've
like
actually
honey.
never done that.
Oh, they're good. They're good, man. And then when I was a kid, have you ever heard of molly moochers?
I think.
They're wild mushrooms. They grow around like for only 3 weeks in the woods, and you can go and hunt for them.
Really?
Yeah, so like me and my dad would go do that shit with my sister, and we'd like go out and look for, you know, fucking mushrooms, not magic ones. Maybe, knowing dad.
You never know.
No.
Imagine you're like 5-6-year-old and your dad just hands you a poisonous mushroom by accident.
Whoopsie. No, my dad found a fucking black widow in our yard one time.
What the hell?
Yeah, and then he also, he'd like, my dad's like the experiment guy. Like, he'll just do random shit. Like, one time, like, we burned down, like for this new property, we, like, instead of, like, hauling shit out, like, we, you know, tore it down and just lit on fire, right? And so, like, he had a shit ton of stuff, like, you know, left over from it. We cleared it, cleared the land, like, chopped down shit with machetes, and then built a house on top of this, right? And, like, after we did that, he was like, I guess I'm gonna start building a big fire. You know, like it's a mission from God. And then after that, he got like a shed.
I feel like every dude
has a mission.
Not only that, but every dude just has like some innate primal behavior sometimes.
Yeah.
Like every dude is curious about fire. Not one dude looks at fire and he's not like,
dude,
I wonder if I can jump over it.
You know how many
I wonder what happens if I piss in this fire.
I was reading like a book today, right? I'm reading the book of 5 Rings, right? And it's about this, the most, like, this is cheesy as fuck. It's one of those samurai books. It's like the deadliest, this guy's the deadliest swordsman of all time. And, you know, he was, and it starts off, he's like, my name's like, I can't even pronounce his name. He's like, I've killed 76 men in my life or whatever.
Why would you keep count?
I wouldn't you?
No.
I'd fucking paint that shit on the back of my head or some shit. Like, I'd shave my head bald and then, like, start, like painting it down.
Like that guy on Black Panther who just, like, scarred himself for every man he killed.
Oh, yeah, no. There's a guy in, like, this zombie TV show. His name's 10K. And, like, he wants to kill 10,000 zombies. And when he gets those, he'll be, like, 50K. You know, and that's just, like, that's his fucking dream. Oh, I don't know. I'm ready for the zombie apocalypse, dude. That's one thing about getting yoked. Like, I'd be like, like, I was in the PRT the other day, and there was like 4 guys in there, and they were like, you know, scrawny, you know, one guy was, you know, 4 inches taller.
You're about to say built like me. It's okay. You can say
No, like, I was going to say built like Big Dog, our roommate. Like, Clayson.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, 6'4", skinny guy. But he was just big. And I was like, sitting there, I was like, could I take all 4 of these guys at once?
If they were zombies?
Yeah, if they were fucking, like, or just regular dudes, like, you know, like, coming after me. I'm sitting here, like, and then I sat there and I'm like, what the fuck am I doing, dude? This is some primal shit. But that's why I love Jiu Jitsu. Everybody needs to get their ass kicked every once in a while, right?
Didn't you get your ass kicked by a woman for
I
like
got
a
my
year
ass
straight?
kicked by a chick. It was horrible.
That has to be
the most humiliating thing ever. It was humor.
Getting your ass beat by a chick is probably the most, like, humbling experience you could ever have.
Oh, dude, and I was like a big kid. Remember, I was like, you know.
That?
Yes, and I thought I was like, fuck it. I could take this chick. She was, you know, I'm stronger than this chick.
Yeah,
but
you're
like,
definitely taller than her.
No, she was taller than me. Or like
How
about
old were
this.
you?
I think I was like in middle school, and she was like, you know,
ninth grade, probably.
Yeah, like that, or like
So if she was taller than you, not by much.
Yeah, I was like, yeah,
Like
exactly. Yeah, but you know, when I was a kid, just scared the fuck out of me, and getting beat up by a chick, like, and then
Well,
like,
it wasn't in front of a lot of people.
Yeah, it was like on one side it was like, you know, kids,
Like we kids.
yeah,
We
and then
big
the
kids.
other side it was like teenagers, right? So there was like 6 teenagers, including me, and then like 2 adults taking care of the kids, and the real fucking jiu-jitsu guy would, like, you know, sit there and he'd show you 6 techniques, right? You'd practice them, and then you would roll at the end of the match. So like the first time I beat like the younger teenager guy there, and he had been there like 4 months, and I had weight on the kid, and I probably had a year on him. So I was like thinking I'm hot shit. So they put the chick up against me, and I kid you not, she had me in an arm bar in like 25 seconds, right? And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, this is like, and when you're like wrestling with someone, right? You're like in primal like combat, because it's
straight adrenaline.
Well, it's like chest, and then, you know, you're using like
Your legs.
Yeah,
a
because
lot.
jiu-jitsu's all about like fucking with your opponent, right? Like wrestling, you know, you're trying to grab their head and bring them down to the ground. They go left, you're going to try to put them in an arm like this. Like, in jiu-jitsu, you got to plan out like 6 moves. You're like, okay, first thing I'm going to do, I'm trying to tackle them to the ground. If I can do this, I can get on top of them, or I can, you know, do this. Oh, fuck, he broke out of this, so I got to do this.
Backup plan.
Yeah, exactly. So you got to sit there and learn techniques, right?
And before you fought this chick was
no
like,
techniques. I had karate and football, and I was a Boy Scout. Like, it was my first year in Boy Scout. What the fuck are they teaching me? They're peace and love, man.
Yeah.
You know, I can do this.
And so that girl like gets matched up against you. Her first thought was, I'm just gonna put this fucker in an arm bar.
Well, yeah, because, you know, I was thinking I was hot shit, right? I was really thinking I was hot shit.
Yeah.
And then that chick humbled the fuck out of me.
Yeah.
Right? And it's
But hey, you learned from it.
Oh, dude, I only did jiu-jitsu for a couple months after that, because she would just beat my ass, right? And like, it was like, my parents are there. My parents are there. There's other kids' parents.
You fought her more than once?
Yes, this was like Tuesdays and Saturdays. I went, right? Mondays I had Boy Scouts. And then, so like,
Tuesdays and Saturdays, you're getting your ass beat by some shit.
And this was like, because I get out of football season, right? And this is like, I'm like, fuck yeah, big football player, guy, 7th grade football player kid, you know, motherfucker. I just got my ass beat like all the time, and you know, it humbled the fuck out of me. Because, like, I was embarrassed to go after a while.
I would be too, dude.
But, dude, I wish I would have stayed in. Because, like, that's the shit that makes you better, right? Because I'll use that, like, when I was fat, dude, like, I'll think back about times of, like, if I was, like...
You're sitting in the gym and you're curling...
I'm about to curl.
You're curling your 40s and you're struggling that last set, and you just think about getting your ass beat by that chick.
Yeah! I'm like, fuck! I got to use every bit of strength I got into me to get that last curl. Like, today, I had this guy curling beside me, and he, like I said, there are some big motherfuckers at the gym. And he's, like, curling, like, 20 pounds less than me, and I was so fat, I was embarrassed to go to the gym. I do not, like, wish any kind of hate or anyone on the gym, right? But, like, when people get in there and this guy's going, ugh, like, making this so much noise.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, I try to make any noise. I try to work like a machine, like, keep my breathing low, try not to bother anybody.
Yeah.
If you're in front of me for a machine.
You're like, dude, this is Planet Fitness. This is a judgment-free zone.
Yeah, well, see, I'm at the WREC now, and it's like, you know, there's some motherfuckers.
Straight D1 almost.
Yeah. Well, no, there is some, like, D1 kids there.
Yeah.
And, like, I'm, like, you know...
Dude, there's a lot of big motherfuckers that go to the rec gym.
Well, see, and downstairs, the gym's separated in, like, you know, 3 parts. Like, there's a climbing wall, there's a pool with a hot tub.
And then, like, you got the downstairs part, which is, like, all heavy lifting stuff.
Yeah.
And you got upstairs, which is more like a Planet Fitness.
So, like, Mondays I run, Tuesdays I lift, Wednesdays I swim, and then it repeats that, and Saturday I swim again. Sunday's the day of rest, you know, and I do...
Peace and love.
Yeah, peace and love. And then I'm playing the Loud Lounge on Sundays, 5 to 6 at U92. The Moose.
little plug in there. I like it.
Dude, that shit doesn't need a plug in. It's doing great on its own. Working at that stuff is really fun because I sat in front of 3 computer screens, right?
Mm-hmm.
And, I have a microphone in my face and I have a soundboard. And I'm like, I can answer calls. I can do all the fun stuff. Like, I'm working like a radio station. Like, I feel like I'm in the 70s. Like, hey, man, what's up, bro? This is the Loud Lounge,
You are caller number 10.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I'll get on and I'm like, I have my radio ad voice. It's like, what's up, you guys? This is Tony. Like dumb shit like that. And it's just repeated over my mind.
You are listening to U92, the Moose.
Yeah. What's up, you guys? This is Tony, and you're listening to U92, the Moose. And then I'll plug in, on top of the hour, you got to say, like, the radio code. So, like, the FDA doesn't, like, come down on your ass. Like, I can't say fuck. I can't say shit. But I can I can play, like, soft cuss words in songs. I can't say GD. I can't say, like fuck.
Yeah.
Like, I like, in songs, I can't play them. But I can put in radio edits and stuff like that. Best part about working a college radio station, right? Who's going to give a shit?
Yeah. Everyone who listens is either in college or they're just
not.
Yeah.
Well, even if I say, like, if like some of my songs, like, say, like, hell, right? Like, one of my favorite songs, Gives You Hell, All American Rejects.
Yeah.
Banger
of a tune.
Exactly, right? I play this stuff on Sunday. People are going to be like, there's songs playing hell on Sunday.
It's like, you can't play that on the Sabbath.
Oh, yeah. My bad, bro. I forgot it's my day of rest, too, man. I'm sorry. I'm playing tunes from the radio station, bro. Like, it's so nice. Like,
you give them hell, just like the song.
Exactly, man. Play 3 songs, hop on, do a little ad, and then, ramble on. 90s to 2010s, like, rock is what I play.
That's a good era for music right there.
Yeah, it's like my friend Lala, who listens to these, she says it's like a 30-year-old dad playlist. And I respect that. Because, at the end of the day, that's what I am, right?
Yeah.
Practically. I lost the dad bod, just kept the personality at this point,
That's all you could ask for.
I mean, I've already perfected life, no, that's a lie. I fuck up all the fucking time.
Dude.
Like, I hate hyping myself up because I get so pissed at myself. Like, today I was, like, lifting, and there's chicks in front of me, and I went so hard on, like, doing pull-ups that I had to use, like, 40 pounds assistance, right? And these chicks were using 40 pounds, too. And, resistance. And yeah, they may weigh 120, but I couldn't help but feel a little bit of shame.
Flashbacks to getting your ass kicked.
Yeah, a little bit of shame because I'm like, yeah, I'm weigh probably 80, 90 pounds on this 120 pound girl. And we're both using 40 pounds, assist on a pull up. But I still felt like I was like, man, I'm using the same weight as this person. And then I sat there and realized, I'm like, this person is just as intimidated as me all the time. We're all sending in the bubble I hope this motherfucker's not looking at me. I hope he's not judging me.
Well, I'll be because especially here at WVU, you pass at least 200 people every day on the way to class.
Oh yeah,
sometimes more. And so sometimes I'll sit there thinking I wonder if people think I'm intimidating.
Yeah, because you're just walking.
Do you think I'm intimidating? If you never knew me. And you're walking down the hallway, and I around the corner, you'd be like, "Oh fuck."
Well, see, here I'm going to tell you a story, for example, right? We started hanging out via our best friend Steve, right, who's been my best buddy for 10 years now, right? I thought you fucking hated me because you're just
really?
Yeah, because you're laid, you're just you talk when you want to talk, you think before you speak, and you actually know what you're fucking doing, but you're nonchalant about stuff, right? So you're not you're kind of like a robot sometimes with shit.
Yeah.
So I would assume that for me, I'm an outward person that if you don't say 100 words to me, I'm like, oh, this motherfucker hates me. I got shit flying through my mind.
I only speak when I think it's necessary.
Dude, I think
which is kind of counterintuitive that I have a podcast because, I mean, that wouldn't make sense, but Because like people like you are perfect for a podcast,
dude,
or a radio station.
Well, that's just because I'm chaotic, right? But I'm not good at like art. I'm not good at like anything specific. I think, except for like speaking. Like that's what when I look down at my stuff, like I'm good at retelling stuff I find.
Not gonna lie, dude. And until I started hanging out with you, I thought you were a weird kid.
Yeah, I was a weird ass kid.
Because I was like,
I mean, you got to think.
You did shit with like the band, and I just automatically assumed that if you did stuff with the band, you like.
Well, see,
weird.
Well, see, you forget like sophomore year, I did it for community service.
Mm-hmm.
So like I moved band stuff for a whole year, and I got a cord for it at graduation.
Mm-hmm.
But like everybody put that as the like backward list.
Yeah.
Lauren was in band.
Yeah.
Look at that, you know.
Yeah.
I know
Yeah,
that's funny as shit, but
like also part of the reason
I was a fat kid in the band.
Exactly. Like this is gonna come off so mean, but you were a bigger guy back then, and so I saw you he's kind of weird. But once I started
weighed the weight I have since 7th grade when this chick was beating my ass. If you think about it,
yeah.
Like I weighed the same I did now, and this chick was beating my ass in like 7th grade.
But like once I got to know you and I found out you were good friends with Steve, I was like, oh, this dude's cool.
Well, see, like, you know, I felt like at the group, dude, right? Mm-hmm. We sat at a lunch table all the time.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Also, this is wild. All 4 years of high school, me, T, and all of our friends sat at the exact same lunch table.
Like it was like
4
a movie.
years in a row.
It was literally like a movie. Like I have a snap, and it's like the only snap I have at lunch table. It's like good times, good friends, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like it was the whole gang sitting there, and you know, like I think that's like where I had to force myself, because I knew I was the stranger coming into like the friend group, because I had friend groups like JD, and like I'm the guy, I have a shit ton of friends, but I don't have like too many close friends.
Mm-hmm.
And the ones I do, I got to really work hard for.
Yeah.
Right? So, like, you, like, my buddy Ace.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, I think at the lunch table, like, I knew you guys fucking hated me for a while. Cause
I'm not going to lie to you.
Yeah.
We did.
Everybody fucking hated me. But I kept
why?
pushing through.
You know why? It's because you were so talkative. And you were so... You were talking to everybody, and you didn't quit. You never stopped talking, so people were like, dude, will this guy shut the hell up?
Exactly, but my thing is I'm so I want people to feel included in a group.
Yeah.
That's why, and like when we were young, you know, that's not seen. But like my thing is my favorite fucking human being is a guy that doesn't talk too much, because those people know what the fuck to say because they think about shit. Mm-hmm. And I was so backwards in like school growing up. Like, I didn't talk, I didn't express myself, and it wasn't until I got older that I started learning to talk. Like, I hit middle school, and I was like, I'm just going to start fucking talking to everybody, right? Because that got me people's attention, which I was like, this is friendship. Mm-hmm. And I realized that it doesn't matter, like, people, if you just say, like these bullshit conversations to people, like, oh, what are you doing for the weekend?
Yeah, what's your major?
Yeah, exactly, right? That doesn't entice friendship. I can say that shit 5 days a week, and it basically makes me your coworker at school, right?
That's
what I
was. Perfect way to put it.
Exactly. I'm your fucking coworker. I'm cool when I'm at school, but that's about it. And I think
you're cool at school, but nobody wants to hang out with you afterwards.
Exactly. But you know how we started talking? We fucking played Fortnite together. Me, you, and your mom, right? Like Dude,
we're gonna revert back to this topic, but you want to know a fucking crazy thought I had? This September, October will be 5 years since the Battle Royale Fortnite came out.
Oh my god.
2017. The fall to 2017 is when Fortnite started.
Ah, shit, I'm old.
5 years, dude. That's crazy.
No, that's like, that shit does make me feel a little bit old though, because I'm like, I'll look at like my I go home and I like, you know, I lose a shit ton of weight. But I look at my brother, he's 15, right? Like, he's like grows and shit, and he's 4 years younger than me. And he'll say shit, and I'll be like, you don't remember this? Like, I asked him a question about Regular Show. You remember that TV show?
Oh, yeah. Mordecai Rigby.
Did not know what that was.
Bruh.
Yeah.
There will be a generation of children that will grow up without SpongeBob.
Yeah.
The kids born today will probably not watch SpongeBob the way we did. Or any of our TV shows.
I don't know. It depends on the parents.
All the classic Nickelodeon shows, all the
My
classic
parents only
Disney
let me
shows.
watch shows they like wanted to watch as cartoons. So I grew up on like SpongeBob, Teen Titans, the regular Teen Titans, and like good shit like that. And Lost. I watched so much like Family Guy growing up. Probably corrupted my young adolescent brain.
Like that was the first feeling of rebellion I had as a child. Was my dad left the TV on in my room. It's 10 o'clock. The Adult Swim shows start coming on. And Family Guy comes on. And I hear him saying all these random mass words like shit and fuck that I never heard before. And I'm like, ooh, what is this?
Yeah, exactly. Watching shit like that give me, like, I was like, it was like a secret. Like, watching at my grandma's house, like on Saturday mornings. Because right before 10 o'clock when cartoons would hit and shit, you could still watch like Adult Swim till like 10 o'clock. My grandmother sleeps till like noon. Yeah. So I'd get up at like 8 a.m. and watch like 2 hours of like Adult Swim and shit. And like Chicken Robot and like the worst shit imaginable for a kid.
You want to know the story behind my first cuss word?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Lay it on me, big dog.
I was like 5 or 6. I was watching one of the greatest childhood movies, in my opinion, Sandlot.
Sandlot's amazing.
I was watching Sandlot, and if you remember, in the scene in Sandlot when they toss the ball over the fence, and there's like that big ass dog back there, the guy hops the fence and tries to get the ball, and the dog sees him, and the dog starts running after him. Yeah, and he looks at it, he goes, "Oh shit!" Yeah, and then he hops the fence,
and then the dog comes right through.
Yeah. Later that night, I'm sitting in my parents' bed. I was still young enough that I slept with my parents. Yeah. Okay. So I'm sitting in bed. I'm just laying down, dilly-dallying, thinking about, Disney Channel or some shit like 5-year-olds do. Yeah. And I sat up in my bed real quick, and I went, "Oh shit! No. I forgot to brush my teeth." and my dad looks at me. He goes, "What'd you say?" And I said, "Oh shit." And he's like, "Don't ever say that." And then he gave me the rundown on why that's a bad word. He's like, "Next time you do, I'm gonna wash your mouth out with soap."
Dude, I hate when parents do that, because I know you're instructing your child, right? But my thing is you don't have to blow up on your kid like that. You know how parents get, they'll just be don't, because they get embarrassed. They're like, "Oh, what happens if my kid were to say this in public? I got to instruct him right now." Yeah. Bad, bad, bad. Instead, be like, "Listen, dude, I'm trying to save you." I know you're a kid. Be like, "Listen, man, you can't say that in public. You can't say that out loud. Those are
bad words."
Exactly. That was the worst thing for me as a kid. My dad would explode, and then 5 minutes later, he would come back and apologize. Yeah. And I'm like, dude, don't apologize for exploding. Just tell me next time. But me and my dad are so close that we butt heads when we're older.
See, now. I've never had a child, so I don't know what parenting's like. But exactly. I would think that yelling at your kid when they do something bad, or yelling at them, only entices fear. It doesn't teach them a lesson. It doesn't teach them a lesson.
Yeah, because when you look back at that, you remember your dad fucking exploding, so you revert that to, I can't say shit in front of my dad. Yeah. You know what I mean?
It gets the job done, but
exactly,
it just entices fear, and it doesn't give you a reason of why.
I still have trouble with I was scared of fuck out of my dad. Scared. My dad, he'd be like, "Oh shit," and I did have reasons to be, because I was I was a nuisance as a child. I still am, but you got to realize that your dad's just at the end of the day is scared as fuck out of you. Yeah, because he's walking around, he's like, "Fuck, dude, I wonder what my kid's getting into now," because they think about what all the crazy shit they did. Yeah, and they're like, "Please don't do half the dumb shit I did." My dad had a tongue piercing, he had a nipple piercing. What the fuck, Dad? I don't know what he's doing in life when he was my age, but ended where he was now, and I think that's important.
Yeah, I feel like everyone is kind of scared of their dad.
Yeah, but it's
unless you're a woman. Most dudes like still have like if you had a good dad growing up,
Yeah.
you have that level of respect to your dad where like he intimidates you sometimes.
Well,
Like he can still kick your ass if you really wanted to.
that's because like that's the front they got to put up. Like my dad's dad, like I love my grandfather, right? But like when he was like a dad, he would come home from the coal mine, right? And he would only be home for like 8 hours, 9-10 hours, right?
Just long enough to eat and sleep.
Yeah, and then like shower, right? And then do yard work on the weekends, and then you get a little bit of time. So you think that's so little time to yourself and so much work just to provide for your family that when your kid does do something wrong and you're like thinking of all the work you put in and
It
that
just
little
sends you over the
shit
edge.
kid, you're
Yeah.
like, that little shit just said shit. You do that again, boy, I'm going to wash your mouth out with soap. Then you're thinking about what your boss said to you, and you're like, fuck. You're
Yeah.
thinking about, I really had to do this shit again. Then you're like, sit there and breathe. You're like, oh, man, I fucking love my kid.
Yeah.
You're like, aw. Like, when you, like, your dog shits in the floor, you're like, you motherfucker. And then, like,
And then 2 hours later, you're like, oh.
oh, yeah, because they're, like, laying on you trying
Yeah.
to, like, forgive me, Father, please.
Yeah.
You just feel horrible. But it's the right thing to do to instruct your kid. It's always more important to, like, at the end of the day, you should, if it's going to take, like, a hard hand to, like, discipline your child, like, that show where they take the fucking kids and throw them in prison because they're little assholes?
Yeah.
I believe that shit, right? If your kid's, like, a
Especially
little
to like the
demonic
level
child,
that some of those kids are.
yes. But you know how that shit starts.
Was that show called Beyond Scared Straight?
Yes.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah. But you know what? Like, it's the fear that, like, gets you. But at the end of the day, you should be using it as respect to your parents rather than fearing what your parents are going to do to you. Like, oh, shit, my dad's going to beat my ass. Be like,
Just like the girl did.
Yeah, exactly. Like, old girl putting me in a fucking arm bar. Like, but at the end of the day, that chick beat my ass more times than my dad could ever do.
Yeah.
Like, especially now,
Yeah.
I'm like, it's my dad. Like, now I'm like, now that I'm yoked a little bit too, I got like 40 pounds, 2 inches on my dad.
Yeah.
And I'm like muscular now, so I could be like, my dad still fucked me up.
Like everyone, like at some point in their life, reached the point where their parents don't really yell at them
Yeah.
anymore. Like I haven't been yelled at by my parents in a hot minute.
My mom will like slap the hell out of my back, but it's like, my mom, right? She's like, my mom's like that southern black, like she's not, my mom's like, if you had to describe her, like, like a southern black lady kind of deal, that she's like, oh, come on in, I'll help you, I'll make you food.
They're real hospitable
Yeah,
and whatnot.
and then she'd be like,
But you
child, I will beat your ass.
Yeah,
Like,
she get on the wrong side and
that's the end. Yeah.
But those kinds of people are always the nicest people.
Exactly.
Deep down.
My mom makes like tons of desserts for people, and like
They're always good at cooking too.
Yeah, and my mom's got such good friends around her that like my mom had surgery, right? And all her friends like made her food like it was the 70s, like for our family during COVID.
Me and my dad was watching this show on Netflix called The Great American Barbecue Showdown.
Oh yeah, I like that show.
And there was this older black lady. Her name, they called her Miss Sylvie on the show. She ended up getting eliminated and getting like third place or whatever.
Damn.
But I would pay, large sums of money to go eat some of her food
because it was just amazing.
Dude, she could whip me up some real nice meals, dude.
I think like anything with like Cajun kind of food, Cajun and Mexican food, like, and by that I mean like real authentic Mexican food, not Tex-Mex. Like I really like fuck with some like real authentic Mexican food.
Yeah.
And like like Cajun food, that's like my shit. Down south is like where food's at, you know.
Soul food.
Yeah, exactly. That shit like I love Benji's down the street from here.
Benji Sunnyside.
Oh
Grill.
my fucking god. I'll go work out, get surf and turf fries.
Sponsorship, Benji's?
Dude,
Benji's, hit us up.
Please, I told them, they were like, dude, do you talk about us all the time? And I'm like, yeah, on my podcast. And they're like, no, some famous guy talks about us here all the time. And I'm like, Just fucking wait. Just fucking wait.
You wait, buddy.
And then you'll be my sponsor.
One day.
I'll get my free surf and turf fries.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Free surf and turf quesadillas.
Oh,
But yeah,
dude.
big shout out to Benji's.
Yeah, I fucking love you, Benji's. That shit after I'm working out. I know it's like literally what I just worked out for. But, you know, diet and working out is 70% diet, 30% exercise, right?
Mm-hmm.
And my thing is, if you can eat, like, I don't believe in, like, a cheat day, but if I can, like, bust my ass eating, like, you know, like, healthy foods 5-6 days a week, that day where you go out with your friends and get Qdoba or, like, Chipotle.
You got to beat ups for a game or something?
Yeah, you can do that.
Yeah. Treat
But-
yourself.
Exactly, but you can't just be mindful of your calories. Just be mindful of like how much you weigh, how much put shit in. Count your steps. If I love counting my steps, I'm like, holy fuck. I'm like, I got another quarter mile than yesterday. It's the little things like that. Like when I was a kid, I would like pace in my house so I could get more steps. You know,
That's funny.
I know, and like I would just do dumb shit like that because my dad, like, you know, I'm sure. Like, I'm glad my dad got me into working out because I'm sure it was hard for my parents to look at me and be like, my fucking kid's a fat ass, you know? And that's one of my things. Like, I know my parents would never think of that of me, but there's still, like, a look in my parents' eyes that I'd be like, you know, like, I'm buying, like, triple XL shirts. I'm like, dude, this is not, like, with my mom. Like, I'm, like, almost ashamed when I was going to, like, now I'm, like, I wear like a large, right?
I'll take a large.
Yeah.
That's what I wear.
Yeah, exactly. I wear a large and like, you know, I wore Allie's shirt, Allie Douglas.
You wore her shirt?
Yeah, I wore Allie Douglas' shirt and it worked. And she was like, this is like a women's XL or something. And I was like,
huh?
Yeah, I was like, I can wear this shit? Like it looked as like almost like I can almost wear like a men's medium. And I'm like, that's what my fucking dad wears.
Good for you, dude. I'm proud of you.
It's been like I'm 28 pounds from my goal, and I just wish I could like teleport to my goal, but
hey, but the journey to the goal will make the end result that much better.
See, that's what everybody says, but my hardest part of my workout or anything is not the last 10, it's the 10 before the last 10. You know what I mean? So if I'm going for 50, it's 30 to 40.
What sucks.
Yeah, because I'm like at the last 10, I'm like last 10. But right now where I'm so like close, like I could stop working out right now, right? And I'm pretty like almost average like weight and shit like that. But I know I can like be like a movie hero guy, and I know I can push myself if I just keep going a little further. Like it's the last 15% of the way. And that's what sucks. Rather go for a B. I'm going to go for an A.
Yeah.
And get a year of college done. Go skydiving with my dad here for spring break. Look for pictures for that. And, you know.
Then get your ass beat by a woman.
Yes, exactly. And hopefully, you know, she'll like let me live at her house. And I can just travel with you. Yeah. Do the podcast while you
Be
and
a
Haley.
stay-at-home dad.
Yeah, exactly. I'll just follow you. Listen, until I find a sugar mama, I'm going to just follow you and Haley around, and we just do the podcast, right?
Well, it sounds good,
and then
dude.
if we cultivate enough money.
As long as you cook us meals.
Oh, exactly. And, like, as long as I, like, I'll fucking be, you know, I'll get my own house and shit like that. I'm not that crazy.
Yeah, you're not going to sleep in our house.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to just save up money until I can buy, like, a compound up north. And then just start like the zombie apocalypse compound for my grandkids. Because it won't happen in my time. But their time, shit's about to hit the fan.
Yeah.
So I got to have that shit ready. I got to have like the farms going, you know, the trees, you know, some wildlife, some shit like that. You know, we'll see. I don't know. Grow some tobacco.
Like the old days.
Yeah, some herb. There you go.
All right. Well, I think we're going to wrap up this episode. Thank you guys for listening or watching.
Yeah, thanks for actually watching this time.
If you made it all the way to the end of this video and you watched the entire YouTube video, what the hell's wrong with you?
Yeah, what the fuck are you doing
But anyways,
today?
we appreciate it
Go
greatly.
work out.
But anyways, Benji's, hit us up, sponsor some local Motown boys.
Yeah.
And
surf and turf fries for life.
Yes. We'll catch you guys in the next episode and video. And this is D.
And this is T.
And thank you for listening and watching D&T TV.
Peace out. Peace out. Peace out. Peace out.